Hello, and welcome to Get In We're Going Healing, a place where we talk about mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual well-being to help you learn to let go of the things that are holding you back from being your best, your greatest, your most authentic you. My name is Tova, and I will be your guide. So today I thought we would do a pick a card reading, but only using oracle decks. Okay, only using no traditional tarot, just oracle decks. Okay, so let's see. What cards are we going to use to choose our piles? Okay, they are guiding me to the Heal Yourself Oracle. So we're going to give those a shuffle. Okay, so these are going to be messages that you need to hear using oracle decks only. Okay, pile number 1, please. 3 cards. 1, 2. No, too many. 2 more, please. Pile 2. 1 more, please. Oh, I guess we're doing 4 piles. 2, 3, and 4. Okay. All right. So this is going to be pile number 1. This will be pile number 2. This will be pile number 3. And this will be pile number 4. Okay. So I'm going to flip them over in the reading so that we can see what's going on in each of the cards. So if you're new to pick a card, what you're going to do is you're going to look at the cards. You're going to ask yourself which pile is the right one for me, 1, 2, 3, or 4. Whichever number seems to stand out the most is the pile that you're meant for. You can also look at the numbers in the timestamp. Maybe there is a number there that is a combination that is important to you or significant in some way. That might be the right pile for you. You can be called to 1 pile, 2 piles, 3 piles, or all 4 piles. Whichever pile is the one that calls to you is the one that you are meant for. Okay. So when you are ready, you can decide and find your pile in the timestamp in the description box, and I'll see you there. Bye. All right, pile number 1. If you chose the first pile, this is your reading. Okay, so the first message that you need to hear from your oracle deck is procrastination with card number 8. Okay. So interesting. So this tells me that there is something that you are supposed to be working on, maybe shining your light more, that you are putting off. So what I notice here is she's got this lantern and she's shining a light, right? And behind her is a black cat that is darkness. So it's possible for you that what you're putting off is looking at your light, shining your light, and dealing with the shadows that you have not yet dealt with. Let's see. We'll see how the reading progresses. Okay, we're going to put this here. Angels, guides, ancestors for pile number 1 with procrastination. What else do they need to hear? Okay. I'm being directed to the angel or to the energy. That's interesting. I was going to say to the energy oracle, but this is the angel deck, but there is a card that belongs to the energy oracle that is in this deck, and it's a woman holding a heart. Now, I don't believe in coincidences, so I believe this is significant. So for you, pile number 1, there might be where one of the areas you're procrastinating in is doing something that involves love, offering your love to something or someone. We're going to put that there because that's significant. We're going to see what comes with that. Okay. All right. We're going to give a shuffle to the angel cards. All right. What does our pile number 1 need to hear? Take time to breathe. Thank you, angels. I breathe with ease knowing you're here. So pile number 1, it looks like you might be putting off taking care of yourself, taking a break, okay? With take time to breathe, what this card talks about is taking the time to rest, to relax. What we see, maybe you're a little tired. What we see on this card is this person sitting on a beach, relaxing under a palm tree with a sun hat on, just enjoying being in a state of relaxation. And you can see the angel wings and the angels protecting her, okay, or this person protecting this person. So this right now tells me you're putting off taking a break. You're putting in a lot of work into something. You're putting off taking a break. With that, what I'm hearing is they're reminding me of a story that I heard from this gentleman, Mike Dooley. He would be the creator and writer for Notes from the Universe at tut.com. And he was talking in a course that he was in about channeling, about how when he's trying to come up with the notes for the universe, when he's thinking and trying to put things into force to create the notes, he really struggles to come up with ideas and what the right notes are. Instead, he found when he takes time to sit and breathe and be calm and meditate and sit in, I think he described it on his back deck with a glass of juice and just enjoying the beautiful day. When he's relaxing and just enjoying the day, that's when the ideas begin to flow. That's when the words from the messages from the universe come through to him. And so right now you might be being advised to take time to rest so that your ideas, your thoughts can come together. When you're overthinking, when you've got all these things on your plate, when you're focused on all these things, it's very hard for the ideas to come through because your brain is occupied elsewhere. But when you take time to rest, you can actually find the ideas flow a little bit better. Okay? What else do we need to hear? Connect with music. Okay, thank you, angels, for inspiring me through music. So some of you, whoever this message is for, pile number 1, you may be someone who is clairaudient. You might be getting your messages from your angels, guides, and ancestors through music. I know that is something that they speak to me through. When I'm really struggling with knowing what to do, I will turn on a Spotify playlist, just on a random list on shuffle. And then just say, tell me what I need to know. Share with me what you need me to hear. And the songs will come through with the messages that I need to hear. The lyrics for this stuff. And it's so amazing when it's songs I have never heard before, artists I have never heard before. And yet it's exactly the song that I need to hear in that moment. It's exactly the lyrics that I need to hear in that moment. So you might be being asked by your guides at this time to not only take time to rest, but to listen to music when you do. And to really be present with the music and to hear what might come through for you. Okay, what else? Okay. Clear your vibes, change and transition, and honor your beauty. Okay. All right. So you are being asked, so not only are you being asked to take time to breathe, okay, and to listen to music, you're being asked to use this to clear your vibes, okay, to find your center. I consider clearing your vibes to be grounding and centering, right? And to ground and center, I don't know if you're new to this channel, you might not know this. In my past, I discovered Wicca as a teenager and really got involved in a lot of the spiritual practices that go along with being a Wiccan. And one of the things that was taught in it was grounding and centering, how to ground and center. And to ground and center means to connect yourself to the earth, connect yourself, root and ground yourself into the earth. So I like to imagine a root growing from, like a dandelion root, growing from my tailbone into the earth, and then spreading out and sending out little tiny roots into the earth to anchor me in there. And then I like to imagine, so that's the grounding part, being connected to the earth. And then the centering part is drawing energy from the earth up through the root, that I've just anchored into the earth, and allowing that earth energy to come through and fill me little by little all the way up each chakra as I go, until I am filled with the solidity of earth energy. Excuse me. Someone might need to definitely rest. Getting all these yawns, someone might definitely need to take time to rest. So I like to do that, and then I like to go the other way too, from the source energy up high, and then bring it down, and then through the root, anchoring me both through the heavens and through the earth to ground and center. So that's just one of the ways that I clear my vibes. You might find that other ways to clear your vibes might be dancing, writing, art, anything to clear your head is what I'm hearing, to clear your head. So that might be taking a walk in nature. You might find hot baths or hot showers might do that. Listening to music, dancing, writing, painting, exercising, anything that you can do that can clear out the overthinking that's going on inside your head is what you want to do, because you are currently going through lots of change. Okay, there is a big change and transition that is happening for you at this time. So in order for that change to happen, of course, you're going to be tired. Of course, you're going to be exhausted. Of course, it's all those things, just like when a woman is making a baby or is growing a baby inside her body, she can be very tired because there's a lot happening below the surface. Even though you can't see all the cells of the baby dividing, it takes its toll on her body as her body's systems are doing this and building all of this unseen to anyone else, but happening on the inside. So just like that, you are birthing yourself. You are growing your new self. And that change and transition can be exhausting. It takes up a lot of energy to do those things. So a lot, again, you're being asked to rest. You're being asked to rest while you change, while you grow, while you develop, because it takes a lot of energy to do that. And if you're doing all of the things that require all these energies from you on the outside, what energy do you have to do all the growth and change on the inside, right? You're going to run out. So you're also being asked to honor your beauty. Thank you, Jophiel, for helping me discover my inner and outer beauty. I'm noticing that we have 3 cards with archangels. So I do feel like I do want to read who they are from the manual, just so that I think there's an extra message in there. But what I want to mention is honor your beauty talks about making sure that you're honoring your outer beauty as well as your inner beauty. Okay, so we all have inner beauty. If you're on this road right now, you have your own beautiful inner beauty, right? As you're developing and changing and transitioning, you are developing a greater sense of yourself on the inside, and that's wonderful. But don't neglect your outside. Right? Take time to take care of your physical vessel that you live in. So honor the beauty that happens on the outside and the inside. Make sure that you're taking care of your skin and keeping your skin nice. You know, make sure that you are taking care of your hair. You do need to take care of your physical vessel. Okay, you do live inside it every day. You do need to take care of it, just like it's important to do maintenance on your car to take you where it's the transport that takes you from one place to another. Your physical body is what takes your consciousness from one place to another. So it is very important that you take care of your physical vessel. Honor the beauty that you have. Maybe you are someone who is attractive and you just don't acknowledge that. Maybe you are worried about feeling vain, because too much focus on your physical beauty can lead people to vanity, to thinking that that's their entire worth is based on their physical vessel. And that is not true. So with your beauty, you are meant to honor the external and internal beauty. Now let's find out about Jophiel, okay? To see who she is and why it is important for you to hear her message, okay? All right. Archangel Jophiel's name means the beauty of God, and she is the archangel who can help us acknowledge our beauty. She is a wonderful angel who can be called upon to overcome the voice of inner doubt and fear that many of us face. She's like a breath of fresh air and brings a serene and positive energy to anyone who calls on her. She works closely with Archangel Michael to help us overcome negative traits in our thoughts and choices. Okay, so we're also going to look at Azrael with change and transition. All right. Archangel Azrael's name means he who helps God. He is the angel who guides us through the process of transition. With his phoenix-like energy, he helps us to rise from the ashes of our challenges to be reborn and positive again. He has a close link with mediums and is the angel who lovingly guides us to the other side at the time of our passing. He is strong, but loving and supportive. Call on him to guide you through change in a peaceful and loving way. So this card makes me think, if he's the one that guides you, your soul on the other side, this makes me think of the Greek equivalent, Thanatos, okay, the god of death. And not to be mistaken with Hades. Hades is the god of the underworld. Thanatos is the god of death. And Thanatos' job is just like Archangel Azrael, to guide you across when you come to the underworld. Sharon drives the boat, and then Thanatos is who meets you on the other side. And the idea is that you are guided through the change, that you are not left to do the change by yourself, that you have help. There is someone helping you through this transition while you go through the difficult times. To go back to the analogy of birth, it's like having a midwife to help you through the change and transition of giving birth. So right now you are being shown that you have angels who are watching out for you, who are taking care of you, okay, who are there to help you with this challenging transition, okay? And then we have Metatron, as evidenced by Metatron's cube in the background with sacred geometry. Right? So Archangel Metatron is one of the few angels who have walked the earth as a human being. So he knows more than the other angels what it can be like to be challenged by people and situation. His name means the throne next to God, and he has a special connection with the current era. As he represents the new energy and the connections that are opening up to the other worlds and heavens. He is the angel who can help us connect with the wisdom of God in our daily life. Okay, so just by hearing that, right? So we've got the angel that helps you transition. We've got the angel who sits next to God and again helps you transition, helps you move through this phase. And then we've got the angel that honors your beauty. So pile number 1, that makes sense now that we've seen the woman holding a heart, right? Why this came out in the first place. Because this card coming out is very much everything we've seen here. You are being asked to stop procrastinating on loving on yourself. I'm seeing here with the change and transition, you are transitioning from a previous version of yourself to your higher self, to a higher version of yourself. Okay. And it is a beautiful thing, but it is a difficult transition. And you know that it's going to be difficult. I'm pretty sure you can feel it, because that's why you're avoiding it. That's why you're procrastinating it, because you know it's going to be challenging and you may not want to face the challenge, but you are protected. Archangel Jophiel, Archangel Azrael, Archangel Metatron. Okay, they are here and they are guiding you and they are helping you, and they are asking you to take time to rest, hear the messages they're trying to share with you, listen to music to help you along the way, and just allow yourself to unfold. Okay, I think that's all the messages I have for you today. Anything else, guides? No, they're saying no. That's all they have for you today. So for pile number 1, I hope this gave you some help. I hope that you understood this and this gave you the guidance you needed. And until next time, keep letting go of the things that are holding you back from being your best, your greatest, your most authentic you. Love and light. Bye. If you chose pile number 2, this is your reading. All right. So for pile number 2, we have inner child. That's lovely. We have inner child. Okay. So for you, you might have some inner child work you need to do. You might need to be honoring your inner child. Let's get into the cards and find out. Angels, guides, ancestors for our pile number 2, looking at their inner child. What do we need to hear? Okay. It It's interesting. They've guided me back to the angel cards. All right. Okay, tell me. What do we need to hear? The miracle of prayer. Archangel Sandalphon. Live your joy. The miracle of nature. Transformation with Archangel Zadkiel. And speak your truth with Archangel Gabriel. Bottom of the deck is study and learning. I do feel like that's significant, so I'm going to leave that out. All right, so let's talk about it. So for your inner child, first of all, they're saying the miracle of prayer. So they're asking you, your guides, your angels, your ancestors are asking you to pray. Now, prayer can have such a elaborate meaning. It can be challenging, right? So for those who are raised in organized religion, prayer might be a difficult issue for you. I know for me, having grown up in a Christian household, prayer was very connected to the religious ideology. And once I chose to let go of the religious ideology, I struggled myself to be a participant in prayer. And I actually found Wicca as a teenager. And I found that spellcrafting was essentially a physical form of prayer, using different herbs to symbolize different things. It was all just symbolically prayer, asking the gods for things. But even then, it still didn't always give me a feeling of connection to source energy, to God energy. And I began more of prayer to my ancestors, to my inner guides, to my angels. And one of the things that really helped me was this course called 21 Days of Prayer to Change Your Life. It was offered by dailyohm.com. And in this prayer workshop, or was it 7 days of prayer? I'm not sure. It was a certain amount of prayer. But in this workshop, it was different ideas of prayer were incorporated from lots of different ideologies, lots of different cultures. And one of the things that it really made me aware of is how many different types of prayer that exist. Just saying the prayer Om. If you're not familiar with the Sanskrit practice of oming, it's the Om, right? And then you overlap and you take the breath and then you go into it again and you do it. And it's prayer through sound, through vibration. In my life as a massage therapist, I used to have a client who was a Sikh gentleman, and he had informed me that in his practices, they do oming with their fingers in their ears to block out sound, and it creates a reverberation inside the skull, inside the head, that allows you to go into a deeper trance-like state just through the practice of oming. Now, that's one way that you can pray. You don't have to speak to God, right? You don't have to, it does not need to be structured, but it's appealing to a energy that is greater than you, that is higher than you, that is more than you, that has more view and understanding than you do, and appealing to that higher energy. And often asking for help, asking for guidance, asking for direction, asking for a sign that you are where you are meant to be, that you are doing the things that you are meant to do. Or asking for support in something that you might be doing, learning to let go, learning to forgive, learning to accept. These might be things that are struggling. These might be areas that you are struggling and you might need some help. This is what prayer is for, is to speak to your guides, to ask them, because they cannot intervene without you asking. You must ask. Free will is a thing, and they cannot intervene without your say-so. They can move a few things into place, but they can't. They're sitting there on the sidelines waiting for you to call them in. And if you don't call them in, they can't help you. Okay? So just like when you were a child and you might have needed to ask for help maybe the experience that you have is that asking for help did not offer help, that it offered more challenges. So you became hyper independent by learning to do for yourself. Asking for help is not a bad thing, regardless of what your inner child tells you, because your child experience was that asking for help was a negative thing. Because we're talking about inner child, it's reminding you that it is okay to ask for help. It is okay to ask for assistance. It is okay for those things. If you need help, then you need help. And asking your guides, ancestors, and angels for help is a way of prayer. It is a way of communicating with them so that they can help you. Okay? So the next card we have is Live Your Joy. And that makes sense when we're talking about inner child. Being able to live your life, being able to experience your life, being able to live a life that supports you in a state of joy. Right? So if you are in a state of, non-joy, let's go with that, non-joy, but like low vibrational things. So anger, jealousy, sadness, depression, any of those things that are, if you were to look on a scale, right, it would be down at the bottom of the scale. Joy is way up at the top of the scale. So there's a big divide between those lower emotions and that higher emotion of being in a state of joy. But the thing is, it's just like a muscle. The more you work it, the stronger it gets. So in neuroscience, the way the brain works is there's an understanding that you have all these little receptors on your brain. Okay. I'm going to real shorten it. I could go on and on and on about neurobiology, but to get to the point that I want to make, you've got these little feelers, right, on the different cells, the neurons in the brain, and they have these little receptors, call it like this, like a little thing. And all of these little chemical receptors, these chemicals, they bond into the right receptor, right? So if you've got a receptor that is for, let's say, dopamine or serotonin, so the feel good, happy, joyful chemicals, right? When you spend a lot of time being happy, joyful, and putting yourself in that state, your body goes, oh, there's a lot of that chemical. There's a lot of serotonin. There's a lot of dopamine. There's a lot of oxytocin. There's a lot of it going around. We need more receptors to bond with it because there's just so much. We don't have enough receptors. So the brain makes new receptors to bond with the sheer amount of serotonin, dopamine, all these different feel-good hormones to balance them out. Now, the opposite is also true. If you are constantly in a state of stress, then your body is producing cortisol. And then those receptors for stress say, oh my gosh, there's a whole lot of stress hormones here. There's a lot of cortisol. There's a whole lot of stress hormones. We need a lot of receptors because there's so much of this. This is clearly something we need. So we need to make a lot of receptors. Well, there's only so much space. So that means the brain stops making as many receptors for serotonin and your feel-good hormones, your dopamine, all those things. It stops making as many receptors for those because you don't have that much floating around. It makes more receptors for cortisol, which makes you more sensitive to the stress, makes you more reactive to it because you're taking more of it in. So by living your joy, by being happy, by being joyful, by being in a state of joy more often than not, you actually create more of those hormones. Thus, your brain makes more receptors to bond with those hormones because there's so much of it. And because there's only so much space, it means it cuts off the receptors for the cortisol. It lets those shrivel and die and then puts the energy into new receptors for all the feel-good hormones. So it really is, the more time you spend in a space of joy, the more joy you experience, simply because from a neuroscience perspective, your brain bonds with that chemical more. It makes more receptors, so it takes in more of it, and more of that hormone is released into your brain and into your bloodstream, and therefore you experience that emotion to a higher degree. So for you, my pile number 2 is with inner child. You need to connect more with your inner child to live more in a space of joy. And thus, by living in a space of joy, you will actually find that your life is better. Your life is more joyful, and not because anything outside of you has changed, but something within you has changed, right? So we've also got the miracle of nature. Thank you, angels, for helping me to reconnect through nature and fresh air. So they're already telling you, get outside, get outside, get outside, get outside. Stop spending all your time indoors with air that's just being refreshed and recycled. Get outside into the natural air where oxygen is being made by the plants, by the trees, by the leaves, by the things outside of you. Even if you're in a climate where it is wintertime where you are, get the cool, fresh air into your body. Get out and get fresh air. Not the same recycled air over and over. Okay. Being out in nature, especially if you're in the northern hemisphere where we're experiencing summer at this time, it's beautiful to be out with hearing the sound of the birds and hearing the sounds of, the leaves in the trees and the cicadas singing their songs and the crickets singing their songs and all the different things in nature. It can have a beautiful calming effect. Nature sounds calm us down. So getting out into nature will help you reconnect with being a child when you were outside. If you were a child like me in the 80s, 90s, or like pre-internet era, during the summers, all we did was go outside. All we did was play outside because there was nothing else to do. You were kicked out and said, go outside, go play. And summers for me, being a child, was being outside all day, was playing outside in the grass, was playing Foursquare out in the street, was being outside riding my bike, playing baseball in the park, playing on the playgrounds, all of these different things outside. So you might be at this point feeling like you need to be outside more. And that's what your inner child is asking for. Because at this time you are going through a transformation. Okay. Thank you, Zadkiel, for supporting me to transform from my past challenges. Okay. So for those of you in pile number 2 who are working on connection through your inner child, by connecting with your inner child, that's what's going to help you to transform your life. You're going to be a better version of you when you allow your inner child to be a part of you and not the other way around. They are asking you to speak your truth with Archangel Gabriel. Thank you, Gabriel, for helping me to speak with integrity. Okay. So you are being asked at this time to speak up about what's gone on, what's happened in your life. Okay. So oftentimes we have these experiences, especially if you had a difficult childhood. We are often told to put our childhoods aside and just keep moving. It happened, it's over, just keep moving. But your inner child is still part of you. The experiences that you experienced are still part of you, and they shape the way you view the world, right? So it is important for you to speak, at least to yourself, speak the truth of what really happened. Okay, even if that just means journal it, get it out. Speak the truth of what the experiences were for you. Not just, oh, it could have been worse. Oh, I made it through. I turned out just fine. Speak your experiences. What happened to you? Or what didn't happen to you? Because trauma is not simply the bad things that happened to you or the difficult things that happened to you. It's the things that didn't happen. So if you had parents that worked all the time and they weren't there for you emotionally, it's not that they were bad parents. It's not that they didn't do things for you, but it's that you did not have that experience of someone who was emotionally there for you. Okay. So it's the things that did not happen just as much as it is the things that did happen. And you need to be honest about it. You need to see the truth of it. Okay. Because your inner child is still holding on to that pain. Is still holding on to that suffering, wondering if it's good enough. Why don't the adults want to spend time with that child? Why are they not receiving these things? It must be because it's their fault. If only they were better. If only they were smarter. If only they were better at listening. If only they were better at following direction. If only. That's where those worthiness issues come from. But you are being transformed out of those past experiences into a newer version. With the bottom of the deck, we have study and learning. I remember I said I wanted to bring that up. You are being asked at this time to learn. Okay, so there is some learning involved for you. There might be some learning about what inner child healing means. There might need to be some learning about what an inner child is. There might be some learning that you need to do about parts work. Maybe you look into IFS, intrafamily systems, as a type of self-therapy. You can find information on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, like all those resources. You can find lots of resources on IFS if you are interested in looking. But it might be something for you to look into interfamily systems or parts work and shadow work, right? There might be some stuff in there for you. Let's find out about these archangels. Okay. All right, so let's start with Zadkiel. Archangel Zadkiel's name means righteousness of God. He is the angel who brings emotional balance and helps us transmute any negative experience into a focus for love and learning. He is the keeper of the violet flame, a spiritual energy space where we can go to release and surrender anything that is no longer serving us. Raguel and Zadkiel are the angels of justice, here to bring balance and harmony. Okay, the violet flame. I recently just saw something come up on that on YouTube about a meditation in the violet flame. I was unaware that that meant a sacred space where you can connect with yourself, but that might be something for you. You might be interested in looking up the violet flame meditations on YouTube. That might be something useful for you at this time, okay? We're going to look at Speak Your Truth. Okay. Archangel Gabriel's name means God's strength, and she is the angel of mothers and of communication, the ultimate nurturing angel who can help us feel safe and supported in emotional situations, especially if they have anything to do with the integrity of truthfulness. Gabriel surrounds all those who call on her in a pink and white nurturing light, and she holds us like a mother. Allow her into your life so you can speak honestly and with the light of integrity in your heart. So that right there is also giving me vibes of maybe with the inner child, you might have a mother wound that you need to give some attention to. Have a look into the mother wound. That might be an area of research and study you might need that can help you work through something that you need to work through, okay? We're also going to look at Miracle of Prayer. Archangel Sandalphon is the master of song and the archangel who delivers our prayers to heaven. He is the angelic postman who ensures that our positive thoughts, prayers, and intentions are received by the divine. He has a copper aura and is the twin brother of Metatron. That's interesting. So if you are called to this pile, you might have also been called to pile number 1, because there are some repeats that I'm seeing in here, as well as Metatron was in the last in pile number 1's reading. So you might have been called there. Okay. Where are we? He is the twin brother of Metatron. He has a powerful ability to help us connect with God and the angels in a level-headed and grounded way, because he was once human. He knew so much that when it came to his passing, he ascended to heaven and was transformed into an archangel. You are blessed to receive his guidance. So pile number 2, everything I'm seeing here is talking about standing in your power, speaking your truth, seeing the honest to goodness space of it, living more from a space of joy, and allowing yourself to transform into a newer version of yourself. And I believe the key for you is going to be from doing your inner child work, from looking at the younger version of you who needed the attention and did not get that. You are the wise adult now. This inner child was looking for an adult, a wise adult to, I'm getting shivers, a wise adult to guide them, to show them, to love them, to accept them, to care for them. And for whatever reason, this child did not get those things. But you are now that wise adult that child was always seeking, that can give them the support, the love, the guidance, the acceptance. All of those things that child needed, you are now the person who is capable of giving your child, your inner child, those things. So for pile number 2, inner child work is definitely where I feel that you are being called to right now. Doing some learning, doing some studying, spend time in nature, connect with things that make you feel like a child, that make you feel joyful and excited for life like when you were a child. Maybe there was an activity you liked doing as a kid that you gave up once you grew up. Maybe pick it up again and see what it brings up for you. Okay? So I'm going to leave this reading here. If you are looking for guidance on your spiritual path, you can find information on my podcast in the description box. I do have a podcast. It is called Get Inward Going Healing, and it's available on all podcast platforms. And it's just me talking about my experiences as I spiritually awakened and what I learned along the path. And a lot of this work is the work that I have also done. And I've shared my experiences on my podcast. You might find some information there that is useful to you on this path. Check it out. If you are interested in getting a private reading for your individual circumstances, send me an email at getinwardgoinghealing@gmail.com, and we can get that organized. We can do it over Zoom. We can do it over the phone. We can do it live in person, or I could record it for you like I do in these readings and send you the private link that you can watch over and over as many times as you like. Okay? All right. So for my pile number 2, like always, keep letting go of the things that are holding you back from being your best, your greatest, your most authentic you. Love and light. Bye. If you chose pile number 3, this is your reading. Oh, you have card number 30 with courage. And what I see here, what this card always brings up for me, is the awareness of the light that this person is holding and how it's illuminating this person who looks a little sketchy, right? A little sketchy, a little scary. And he's shining the light. And this card always makes me think about being brave enough to shine your light. I always hear, this little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. And this card to me always makes me think, I'm going to shine my light even though it's scary. I'm going to be seen even though it's scary. I'm going to let people see me in my authenticity, in my light. And it's very scary to be seen, but I'm going to do it anyway, even though I'm scared, which is the essence of courage. When we are scared to do something and we do it anyway, that's the essence of courage. And what I see here with this person that's kind of scary, right? What I see there with that is that when you shine your light, you actually shine the light on other people and you illuminate things that they would rather not other people see. But because they're used to operating in the darkness, when you shine your light, you make them see the things about themselves that they don't necessarily want to see, that they were trying not to see. And as long as they were in the darkness, they didn't have to see. But by you shining your light, you bring it to light. And a lot of people don't like that. A lot of people don't want to see what's in the darkness and what's hiding in the shadows. So it can be a very courageous act to live from your light space, to live from a shining your light space. Because it can show the sides of people that they didn't actually want to see and they would rather have kept in the darkness. And they will try to shut you up and dim your light so that their darkness isn't illuminated anymore. So you have to be brave. My pile number 3s, that's a beautiful message to start. They've been sending me over and over to this pile. I was going to check and see what other piles they wanted me to speak from, but I have... they keep drawing my eye to this as I was telling you about the courage. So I think this is where they want me to begin your messages. So this is the African Goddess Oracle, or the African Goddess Rising Oracle. Let's see what they have to say. Asaya with joy. Maulisa with cosmic power. Allah with grief, Queen Nandi with intuition, and that's what I was expecting to see, Mama Jumbo with shine. And on the bottom of the deck is self-sabotage in reverse. So that message coming through, stop self-sabotaging, stop getting in your own way. When things start going well, stop sabotaging them because you're like, I don't know what to do now, so I'm going to do what I've always done, which is not what you should be doing, and therefore sabotages what's going on because you're afraid, right? So stop self-sabotaging. We're going to come back to that, actually. I'm going to set that here so I remember to talk about that. Let's begin with the first card, okay, with Asaya and joy. Okay, so what I see here, So some of you might be mothers. That might be what you're getting here. Some of you might be a mother. Okay. I see the moon cycles. Okay. The cycles of the moon. I see, that looks like Mars and Jupiter. Okay. So those would be planets of intensity, or unless those are the moon. No, I think that's... Oh, no, you know what? I think that is the moon. I think it's a blood moon and a harvest moon. Not Mars and Jupiter, my mistake. Blood moon and harvest moon, I think. And then we've got, this child looks like the earth. So this to me, it gives Mother Earth. Okay. I am going to read the messages from these cards because I think there's a message here. But right off the bat with joy, okay, with courage and shining your light, that shining your light will bring you more joy, will bring you more satisfaction in your life. Okay, let's see what she has to say. All right, so Goddess Asasiya rules life and death as the joyful crone celebrated as Mama Earth. Her energy is loving, fertile, and nurturing, and her name is invoked at major life transitions. Her guidance is, your happiness matters. Joy is sacred. Your laughter waters the earth. You deserve to be happy. It is safe for you to feel good. Allow yourself to feel joy with no limits. This is self-love. Your happiness does not need to look like anyone else's. If you can't imagine it, you won't be able to live it. Giggle therapy break. Okay, so this is the recommendation of giggle therapy. Close your eyes and see yourself joy-filled. Now laugh with your mouth and your eyes wide open. Try it to release feel-good endorphins. Her declaration is, I feel like me when I am happy. Beautiful. So what do we say about shining your light, right? The courage to shine your light, even in the darkness, even in the face of others' ugliness. Shine your light anyway. And joy, ooh, shivers as I say that. Joy is one of those ways that you shine your light, right? That you deserve to be happy. You deserve to have these good things. And the more that you feel joy, the brighter your light becomes. And again, as I said, that illuminates other people when you shine your light bright, but don't let that stop you. Do it anyway. Okay. The next card is Maulisa with cosmic power. And again, we have duality, right? We've got the sun and the moon, the masculine and the feminine. Because the moon, La Luna, is feminine power, is the moon. And the sun is masculine, doer energy, right? Because the masculine energy is the doer energy, get stuff done, push things into place, energetic side. Whereas the feminine energy is soft and quiet and nurturing and deeper into the subconscious, right? The deeper power to the connection to the heavens when you can see the stars and the celestial bodies that you cannot see it when the sun is shining in the brightness, right? So let's see what Maulisa has to say. Okay. Maulisa is the force of the Mother, Father, God, Goddess. Mau is the moon and the divine feminine. Lisa is the sun, the divine masculine. They come together during a fawn eclipse to create cosmic power. Their guidance is, you are in the right place. Release the fear of your power. You are sacred. You are magic. Now that you know this, you can no longer pretend not to. Rise up into your magnificence. Love and accept yourself fully to unlock everything you seek. Stop pretending to be less than you are. Your real power has nothing to do with external gains. Cosmic power cannot be destroyed or lost. You were created by the same force that birthed the sun and the moon. The declaration is, my power shines forth from within. That's the same message of shining your light. Your power shines forth from within. As you live in a state of joy, your light shines brighter. You do not understand how strong your power is to shine your light. Shining your light actually, again, illuminates other people, but it helps them learn to shine their own internal light too. You are a magical being, right? Release the fear of your power. Just because you make people see their true selves doesn't mean that you are wrong. Okay, that is part of your power. You are magic, and you can't keep pretending that you aren't. Right? Stop pretending that you are lesser than you are. Allow yourself to stand in your full power. Okay? In your full power. It's not about what happens outside of you. It's about what happens within you. Okay? Next card we have is grief. So this already tells me that there's a need to release old pains. And I feel like, even before I read the card with Allah and grief, what I feel like this card is saying with the courage is having the courage to release the pains of the past, the things that people did that hurt you. You'll have to let it go. And I know that's hard to say, but I speak from experience on this. As long as you hold on to that, it's like a heavy weight holding you down closer to the ground, weighing you down, keeping you low, right? If what you want is to rise, which is what happens when you step into your joy, you step into your power, you have the courage to shine your light from within and to shine brightly. Shine bright like a diamond is what I'm hearing, shine brightly. You cannot hold on to the weight holding you down. That weight holds you, and that grief might be something that you need to release in your heart space, where the pain you're carrying in your heart that does not belong to you, that does not need to be with you anymore. You need to allow yourself to release the grief, okay? Let's check the card and see what we need to say about it. So Allah is the ancient Earth Mother, Allah. So there we've got two Earth Mothers, right? Twice. So again, your connection to the earth, Mother Nature, natural cycles, right? She's the foremost Igbo Alusi, which is deity. Goddess Allah oversees motherhood, fertility, and the afterlife. There again, life and death. That's twice. Okay, are you listening? Because they're repeating it twice. After death, humans return to the womb of Allah, replanted in the soul to reincarnate. Her guidance is: give spirit your grief. Bawl it out, wail it out, cry it out, sob, shriek, shed tears, surrender it. You are holding unprocessed grief. You want to skip over it and get back to normal. But grief doesn't go away because you ignore it. The only way to heal it is to walk through it. Losing a loved one is the ultimate heartbreak, but you also experience grief after breakups, job loss, and disappointment. Self-love and self-care are required. Ask for support. Be gentle with yourself. Her declaration is: I am supported by my loved ones, those who are seen and those who are unseen. The thing that is really sticking out for me right now is you also experience grief after breakups, job loss, and disappointments. I was saying, I think it was in pile number 1. It might have been pile number 2 even, but one of the earlier piles, I was referencing that trauma isn't just what happened to you, it's what didn't happen. Okay, the disappointments. So there is grief and pain that comes along with the things that you were expecting to happen and they didn't. The image I'm seeing in my mind, this is crazy and I don't know who this is for, but I'm seeing this scene play out in my mind where you were expecting someone to propose and they didn't. And they gave you every indication that they were going to ask you to be their life partner. They were going to ask you to spend their life with you. And then they didn't. And it's not just the grief of the big things, the tragedies that happened. It's the things that didn't happen, the things that you had built up to, the joy that you were expecting to see, and it did not happen. Maybe the love that you were expecting to receive from a parent, from a partner, from a friendship, and it did not happen. Those are things that we grieve. Okay. It's not just the big losses. It's the little things. It's the loss of a job you thought you were going to stay. It's the loss of a home you thought you were going to keep. It's the loss of a pet. It's the loss of, a friendship. Someone moves away and that friendship fizzles and dies. It's the loss of an opportunity that you were really expecting to get and you didn't. All of those things, those sadnesses that we experience, you must feel them. That old adage, you have to feel it. You have to feel it to heal it. If you don't feel it, you keep it trapped. You keep that energy trapped. You keep it squished down and you say, I just have to get over it. No. Allow yourself to scream it, shriek it, wail it, sob it, punch a pillow, dance it out, move your hips. Scream into the void. Scream into a pillow, punch a punching bag. Let it out. There is grief in there. And as long as you allow it to sit there, it will hold you captive. It will tailor and color everything that you do. Allow yourself to feel through the emotions that you are holding so that you can move past them and no longer have them trying to run the show. Okay? Next card we have is Queen Nandi with intuition. So this already tells me that you need to trust in your inner knowing. If I remember the story correctly, Queen Nandi knew that her son, Shaka Zulu, was going to be a great leader, and nobody else believed her. But she knew. She knew it, and she trusted her intuition. Okay? Yeah. So his father's royal family first rejected her. They said that she wasn't pregnant and her belly resulted from an Ishaka beetle sting. But Nandi knew her son would be great before he was born. So her advice is, you already know. Take a deep breath and surrender to what you know to be true. Trust your inner wisdom and your guidance. What is your guidance telling you? Put your hands over your third eye, the center of your forehead, and ask, if I knew what the answer is, what would it be? Then follow your first instinct. The Creator and your ancestors connect with you through your intuition. Trust your internal GPS. The nudges, signs, and coincidences are divine guidance. I always say I don't believe in coincidences. I believe everything is meant to happen in which it's meant to happen. So those are not coincidences. Those are divine guidance. Slow down. Go for a walking meditation. Be present with nature and pay attention. Being present allows you to feel, hear, see, and sense your guidance. Her declaration is, I am knowing. So you're already being told you know what to do. The courage to shine your light. You already know what you're supposed to do. You've already been given little nudges. You've already been given little signs. You already know what it is you're supposed to do. So it might be your grief that's holding you back. But you are being pushed to... Excuse me. Oh, random burp came up. My apologies. It might be that there is energy needing to be released. Maybe taking a walk might help you. Allowing you to release things that are pent up that need to be let go of. I have absolutely found during walks, I am able to pray a little bit easier, speak to my guides, open up, talk to myself, as it were, and allow myself to follow the guidance, to ask for signs and to look for them and to see where my guides are communicating with me. So it might be useful for you to go take a walk. Allow yourself to release those feelings. I absolutely have taken a private walk and cried. Excuse me. There's another release. Okay, somebody might be in need of taking rest. Okay. Okay, and our last card we have here is Shine, Mama Jumbo. Okay, so already this is just shoring up the same message we got in the beginning. Shine your light. Be strong enough and courageous enough, even though you're scared, to continue to shine your light. And you're being asked again to shine. So let's read what our card means. All right. Mama Jumbo glitters as a guardian of the lush green forests of Guinea-Bissau. If her name sounds familiar, it's because Mama Jumbo's name was misconstructed by colonizers and replaced with the term mumbo jumbo, meaning gibberish. Still, she shines. Her guidance is, you were born to shine. Be seen. Be heard. Be a movement. We need to know your name. We want to learn your dance. Daring to rise and shine starts with the courage to be seen and be heard. What did we say? Courage. The courage to be seen and heard. Your story matters, and someone needs to hear it. Fear of shining brightly keeps you in the shadows, hiding and shrinking. There is no way to claim your voice and avoid rejection, criticism, and judgment. But you are not for everybody. If everyone likes you, then you are not really being you. Ooh, I got shivers as I said that. If everyone likes you, you are not really being you. The declaration is, I am ready to be seen and heard. I'm really hinging on that if everyone liked you, you're not really being you. What did we say about shining your light, right? When you shine your light, you're going to illuminate the darkness in other people that they don't want to see. And they are going to blame you for lighting that up, for making it known, for making it seen, because they did not want it to be seen. So they're not going to like you. That's okay. Because if everyone liked you, you're not really being you. So by being you and shining your light and showing who you are, you will illuminate the darkness in other people. And that will be both good and bad. People will appreciate that you shine that light and bring them aware, and other people are not going to appreciate that. But that's not your problem. That's not for you. That is their thing. Just because you make it aware doesn't mean it's your fault. It was already there. Okay? You are being asked to fearlessly stand in your own authenticity, stand in who you are. Be brave enough to shine your light, to be your authentic self, to shine from within so that all those can see you. Yes, you will illuminate the darkness in others, but you will be a beacon for those who need it, for those who are looking for other people to shine with. And their light will be stronger for being with you, and your light will be stronger for being with them. You are meant to shine, to be a beacon, so others who are meant to find you can find you. And those who are too afraid of being lit up, who are too afraid to look into their darkness and to have it illuminated, they will fall back and hide from the light. And those people will fall out of your life. And that's okay. Grieve their loss and then allow yourself to move on. Okay? Because you are more powerful than you even realize. When you are in a state of joy and happiness, when you're doing things that bring you joy, that show off your authentic you, who you really are, you're going to shine brighter. You are stronger than you even know. Trust your inner knowing. Trust your inner guidance. Trust what you are being shown when your light shines on your darkness. And do not be afraid to shine. Now, remember I said I want to talk about this card at the very end, self-sabotage in the reverse position. So where you would be self-sabotaging is allowing those in whose darkness, allowing those people to show you how to hide, to allow you to hide yourself, to dim your light when they say, oh, turn that light down. That would be where you're self-sabotaging. You're allowing other people to tell you to dim your light. You're dimming your own light to make yourself more palatable for others. You are not meant to do that. You are meant to shine your light. If you are not for everyone, then you're doing it right. As it said, if everyone likes you, you're not being your authentic you. You're not meant to be for everybody, and that is okay. All right, my pile number twos. I hope this gave you the guidance you needed to hear today from what your guides wanted to let you know. So don't be afraid to shine your light. Don't be afraid to be yourself. Don't be afraid to let go of all those things that you keep in the darkness. Let yourself see them. You might find shadow work to be useful. You might want to look into shadow work healing. If you are looking for some of that, I do have some information on my podcast. You can find that on all podcast platforms. It's called Get In, We're Going Healing. And I have done some episodes about shadow work and parts work. You might find that useful. You might also find just doing a YouTube search for shadow work might help you. There's a lot of information out there. Look it up on Instagram, look it up on TikTok, look it up on all your social medias. Start doing your shadow work. Start shining your light on your darkness so that you can see it and begin to process and work through it. Okay. And don't forget, not just get caught up in the shadow work, to live a space of joy, to do things that make you happy, that bring you joy and satisfaction, that will increase your light. All right. Oh, they're showing me an image of cleaning dirt off of a lantern like this, where the lantern, the glass has dirt all over it. And so the light is being dimmed because there's dirt all over it. And they're saying, clean off the glass, clean off the dirt so the light can shine brighter. I hope that made sense. I don't know whose guide sent that, but somebody's guide sent that. All right. So until next time, if you are looking for a personal reading, send me an email at getinweregoinghealing@gmail.com. That is in the description box. I can do a personal reading for you. I can do it over the phone. I could do it over Zoom. I could do a recorded reading. And if you're in my local area, I can do it in person. Okay. If you are looking for more guidance, check out the podcast. Follow me on Instagram. I share lots of inspiring content as it comes across my feed. I share it out to you if I feel that it's relevant to what we've been talking about. So keep on going. Okay. And until next time, keep letting go of the things that are holding you back from being your best, your greatest, your most authentic you. Love and light. Bye. If you chose the 4th card, this is pile number 4. This is your reading. Let's see what we have. We have patience. Oh, patience. So for somebody, you're being asked to wait and be patient. Okay. Angels, guides, ancestors, tell me more. Where are we getting these messages from? You want here? Okay. Inner Guides Oracle. Okay, we're going to give them a shuffle. Tell me, please, patience for what? Physical body. Shame in reverse. Let go of shame. Needing to make compromises or being uncompromising decisions, rest, leadership in reverse, boredom in reverse. Okay, unconditional love on the bottom of the deck. All right. Pile number 4. Okay, so first of all, you're being asked to be more patient with your body. Okay, there are some changes that you need to make. Okay, I'm sure you already are aware that it's important for you to eat proper food, to take proper care of your body, to eat the rainbow, as they say, right? To eat the rainbow, to eat all the different colors, the bright, vibrant colors. Excuse me. So you're being asked to take care of your physical vessel. And again, we have patience. So you might be working on trying to take better care of your body, but it's moving very slowly. And you are being asked to be patient. Okay. Let's read the message on that card. Okay. Physical body. Gaia, the divine mother god, the divine earth mother, is present, making you aware of your marvelous physical body, her great gift to you. Be grateful for her gift. It is a wondrous temporary home for your spirit. She asks that you give it the respect and attention it deserves and needs, so take care of it with love and attention. Give it adequate rest, a proper diet, and a calm and peaceful environment. Spend time with nature, as the earth is the true mother to your body and will restore it. The better you care for your body, the more it will serve your spirit. Listen to your body, its gut feelings, its flutters, its impulses, as Gaia speaks to you through it. This is the Earth Mother cradling you, protecting you, and guiding you through each day. She advises you not to live in your head alone and ignore your physical self. Without a strong connection to your body, you'll be weak and unable to achieve your goals. Gaia's message is, pay attention to your body. All right. So with patience and with it saying, get out of your physical head, okay, it might be for you that maybe you're really into your spirituality right now, and to the point where you are not addressing your physical self. You are caught up in what's going on in your spiritual self. Don't neglect your physical body. It's very important. Now, We have shame in the reverse position, which is pretty obvious. Let go of your shame. This to me looks like something that you are currently working on, but you are not yet done. Because again, our signifier card was patience. So this tells me that you are currently working through the process of releasing your shame, but you're not done yet. And it seems like this is a challenging process for you. That's okay. Okay. With compromise in the reverse position, this tells me don't be willing to compromise on your releasing your shame. Okay. Normally, I would say in the upright position says that you should find compromise. You should find equal balance. Everybody should get what they want. But to me, I feel like you compromise too much. That's what I feel like this card in reverse is saying. You compromise too much. You give too much away where you should be demanding more. Okay, so this might be part of where your shame is coming from, where you're not speaking up for what you actually want or what you actually need. Okay, with decisions in the upright position coming after don't compromise, there are decisions you have to make and decide which side you want to be on, which side you want to take, which path you want to take. In order for you to do that, first of all, you'll want to trust your heart when making decisions. What does your gut feeling? We saw that with the physical body, your gut, right? What does your gut feeling tell you that you should be doing? And then, because we see these two paths, we see three paths actually. This path, and this path, right? So when it says don't compromise with decisions, make sure that you are making the decision that is right for you. Okay, so with patience, it looks like you're working on taking better care of your body. You're working on letting go of your shame. You're working on standing up for what you want. And it's going to affect how you make your decisions. And it makes sense that with decisions after don't compromise and let go of shame, that you're being asked to take your time, because patience, again, take your time with making your decisions, that you make a decision that is best for you, for your outcome. Now, I'm not saying don't take into consideration other people's outcome, but it seems like when we've got compromise in the reverse position, it seems like you often take other people into account, but forget to take yourself into account. So with this, it's saying when you're making your decisions, don't compromise on what is best for you. Don't just make the decision based on what other people would be best for other people, but factor yourself and your needs into those decisions. We also have rest, which is telling me that you are being asked to rest. You are doing too many things. You are doing too many things and not allowing yourself time and space to rest. This is a similar message to one of the earlier piles. I think it was pile number 2, that was asking to rest. And I'm going to repeat the same story in case you don't go back to that pile. There is a guy named Mike Dooley that does the Notes from the Universe from tut.com. And he shares them each day. And in one of the workshops that I attended with him, there was talk about channeling and how when he tries to write these notes from the universe, when he tries to force it and sit down and force himself to write, he can't write. The ideas aren't coming. The thoughts aren't coming. They're not flowing. And he really struggles with it. But it's only when he sits down, takes a rest, sits on his back porch, has a glass of juice, relaxes, takes a break, and lets his mind wander, do the ideas start to flow in. The messages start to come through. The notes from the universe, the messages start to come through. So with this card, especially that I'm seeing somebody reading here, sitting in a chair, resting and reading, what I'm getting from this is take time to rest. Take time. Oh, I'm really noticing the stag and the bird here. So what I'm getting off this, the stag is strength and the bird is grace and hope. So strength and grace and hope will come to you, but only when you find time to rest, when you are relaxed, when you are calm. I'm actually noticing that echoed here with patience. She's just sitting calmly and being patient, sitting on the edge of the wishing well or the well here. Maybe it is a wishing well where you throw in coins and you make a wish and you have to wait for your wish to be granted. It doesn't happen instantly. It takes time. So maybe there's a wish that you are trying to fulfill at this time. But you need to rest. You need to have the energy for that to come through. If you're always going, how are you going to have the energy to do what you need when it finally comes through? In the reverse position next, we have leadership in the reverse position. You're not meant to be in a position of leadership right now. You are not supposed to be leading anyone right now. Because again, we're talking about patience. You're supposed to be waiting. There's something that is coming, and you're supposed to rest so that you can make better choices, so you can make better, more aligned choices. You're supposed to be getting enough sleep, getting enough rest, eating enough quality food, taking care of your physical body, which in turn takes care of your mental body. And you're not meant to be leading right now. I think you're meant to be surrendering, because there's the echo of the bird again, right? There it is again. Okay, and it's not on the other cards, it's just on these ones. There's the echo of the bird again, and this is supposed to be the Holy Spirit, but it's trusting source, trusting the guidance, okay? You're supposed to be letting go and trusting in what source is showing you, what your guides are showing you, what divine is showing you, name it whatever you like, your higher self. And here they call it Holy Spirit, but trusting in the guidance that's meant to be brought to you. You are not meant to be in a position of leadership right now. You are supposed to be waiting in a space of surrender. Let source lead. Chills. Yes, I'm going to say it again. They want me to say it again. Let source lead. You are not supposed to be in the lead right now. You're not supposed to be pushing things into place. You're supposed to, again, patience was our card. You're supposed to be waiting and then responding to what comes up to you, not making it happen, okay? We've got boredom in the reverse position with spirit teachers, okay? And boredom talks about the reason that you're feeling bored is because you're doing the same old all the time. But this is in the reverse position. Okay, so usually the advice on the boredom card is because you're doing the same thing over and over and it's repetitive that you're supposed to do something different. This in the reverse position is telling me that you're not supposed to be doing anything right now. Okay? You are supposed to be resting. You're not supposed to go out and seek new things. You're supposed to be resting because, again, patience. There is something coming that you need to be able to be responsive to. But in order for that you to be responsive to it, you have to have the energy to do it. So you're being asked to allow yourself to be bored. Okay, in that rest position so that the ideas can flow, the thoughts can flow, the emotions can flow, the things that you need to deal with can flow. On the bottom of the deck, we have unconditional love in the reverse position, which is telling me that your love for yourself is conditional. That you haven't yet found that space of unconditional love for yourself. Okay, so we see this child here, right? And it's the Divine Mother. And this card I always see as the inner child card, right? Giving love to our inner child in a conditional, and there's the truth on the bottom of the deck, and deprivation. Oh my goodness. Okay, so with truth in the reverse position, believing the lies and depriving yourself of the things that you need because you believe the lies. Unconditional love in the reverse position on the bottom is saying that you have conditional love for yourself. You only love yourself when these conditions are met. And that, of course, as the old adage, as within, so without, as above, as below, so as within, so without. If you don't have unconditional love for yourself, you also cannot have unconditional love for others. Because if your love is conditional for yourself, how can you hold no conditions for another person if you have conditions on your own loving self? So I think the reason that you are in a holding pattern right now, pile number 4, the reason you are being asked for rest, the reason you are being asked to surrender, the reason you are being asked to allow yourself to be in a space of boredom is so that you can find that space for unconditional love for self. You are on pause because there is a need for you to go inward, a need for you to look at inner child work. You might have been called to pile number 2. I believe that was the inner child card. The inner child needs to be shown unconditional love. There is a healing that needs to happen right now for you with showing love to yourself no matter what. Not I'll love myself when I lose weight, when I get that job, when I'm in a position of leadership, when I get, that offer, when this, when that. Those are all conditions. I love myself today. I love myself right now as I am today. Okay. This is about self-acceptance. This is about self-awareness. This is about self-love. I just released a podcast episode, just went out recently this week, about self-acceptance, acceptance, non-attachment, but it also applies to self-acceptance. I also have a podcast episode from a couple of years back about self-acceptance. That might be something of use to you at this point, because again, you're being asked to accept yourself as you are, love yourself as you are with no conditions. Not I'll love myself when, but I love myself now. When you can get to that space of unconditional love, you will no longer compromise your own needs and wants for the happiness of other people. You will factor your happiness into the decision that you need to make, right? You will be able to let go of your shame and find self-forgiveness. See how that love is being offered in? You will be able to offer yourself that love and acceptance and forgiveness for the version of yourself that you had to be in that moment to just make it through, just to survive what you went through. Allow yourself forgiveness. Let go of the shame. The shame only exists when we wish that we'd done something differently than we had. When we wish we'd have been able to do something differently in another way. But wishing that you could do something differently does not change it and make it anything other than what it is. It just holds you into, I'm not good enough. I didn't do the right thing. I am lesser than. I could have been better. I could have. And that is the crux of conditional loving. That you love yourself only if you'd been this perfect version of yourself, if you'd made the perfect choice, if you'd said the perfect words, if you'd done the perfect things. But there is no such thing. You are a human. You are a spiritual being having a human experience in a human body. You are experiencing life as a human being, which means part of experiencing this life is learning and growing and making mistakes and learning from our mistakes and understanding, well, that wasn't the right way to get to the thing I wanted. Well, I won't do that next time. Or maybe you do until you finally realize, oh, that's what I'm doing wrong. I keep doing this instead of that, right? The shame only comes when we make a mistake and then we beat ourselves up for the mistake that we made. And then we feel like we're shameful. We're hidden away. We can't be accepted because we didn't do it perfectly. There is no such thing as perfect. So maybe the reason that you are in this holding pattern, maybe the reason that you are being asked for patience is because you need to be more patient with yourself. You need to be more forgiving with yourself. You need to be more accepting of yourself. You need to be more loving of yourself. You need to forgive yourself for when you make a mistake and then learn from it. What did you learn in that experience? If you're only going to beat yourself up for the mistake, then you're missing the learning opportunity. There's an opportunity for you to learn from the experience and grow from it and apply that knowledge to the next time that circumstance comes back around. And go, oh, well, last time I did this and it didn't work out so well, so I'd be sure not to do that this time. I'm going to do something different this time. That's the growth mindset. Just because you can't do something yet doesn't mean that you can't do it. It just means you haven't been able to do it yet. You don't yet have the skill set yet. You don't have the knowledge yet. But you will if you keep going. So you're being asked, pile number 4, to release your shame. Take your time to rest, surrender and allow the information and the experiences to come to you, not to lead it, to allow yourself to be in a place of being bored and to not compromise your needs and wants. They do matter. Take more time outside, take more walks outside, make sure you get enough water, make sure that you cleanse yourself. Make sure that you're doing the things to help your physical vessel feel good. That will help your mental vessel feel good too. Okay? Make sure that you are allowing yourself to find that unconditional love for yourself, because that is what you need. And you are being asked right now, you are paused where you are because this is the current lesson that you are learning. This is what you need to be doing right now. This is what your guides are letting you know. Okay? So my beautiful pile number 4s, I hope that this gave you some insight and some understanding. As I mentioned, I have been through this. I do have a podcast. I've gone through these lessons and I still go through them from time to time because there's still vestiges left over that need to be addressed. So I've been through this, and I started a podcast to share my experiences with others because I knew others would be going through it too and would also struggle to find information just like I did. So I was guided to begin a podcast. I did. It's called Get In, We're Going Healing. All that information is in the description box. So if that is something that you want some help with, check it out. There will be some episodes that might be for you. Others might not be. I got a whole lot of episodes. Choose whatever it is that you feel called to that might be where you are now. Okay? And until next time, keep letting go of the things that are holding you back from being your best, your greatest, your most authentic you. Love and light.